GNT, right back at you one more time for your watching and listening pleasures. Hey, we missed y'all guys. It's been way too long, but we're back as a crew. But we got a lot to talk about. We have to talk about a legend that left us, in our opinion, way too soon. We'll get on to it and much, much more. Episode 45, Geeks at the Nerds Table. One more time, we right back at you. Hey, it's time for me to introduce the crew that we have on this evening. First but not least, of course, we got my main man, George.
What's up?
Mikey Kenobi.
Hello there.
Frankie. Baby.
Hello, baby.
What's happening?
What's up?
You pulled a cap there. Okay.
Uh-huh. Kev, Kev in the building.
What's going on?
And last but definitely not least, we have a special individual with us today. Someone that knows the game, talks the game, and is going to influence the game. My man, John.
What's going on, everybody?
The man who deals with my dumbass every single day at work.
Oh, you have to always have to mention that.
My deepest sympathies.
Absolutely. So this makes your G&T crew for this evening. So hey, as always, as we always say, so sit back, relax, pull that chair up to the table. We have a lot to talk about tonight. And it's all about one thing only. The legend himself. You know what was shocking? You don't realize all the things that someone does until they pass away.
Exactly. The past couple of days have been like just going back and like researching and like reliving what is like. You don't know what you got until it's gone, and I forgot how important Dragon Ball was.
That man influenced everybody on this screen's life in some way, shape, or form. And listen, if you weren't doing some type of Kamehameha in the schoolyard with some type of ball and acting like your friends are fighting each other, you didn't live a good life. That's all I gotta say.
True that. I got suspended from school one day for trying to go Super Saiyan in class.
So did you like hit it when you got the suspension?
No, it was after.
Pushed you over the edge.
on his way home. Oh, God.
So he went in the beginning, and then when he's home,
Hey, Larry.
Yeah, that was the sound I was making when my mom was chasing me.
Oh, that's great. Okay, but look, going over a lot of the things that's that's out there that my man actually had. Obviously we think of Dragon Ball first things first. That's the first thing we think of. When it comes to all his works, just hit me. Just throw stuff that y'all guys are going to, that influenced y'all guys growing up.
I'll start because I probably have maybe the earliest. So in 1994 or 5, there was a video game released for the Super Nintendo called Chrono Trigger. And he did the art for that game. And I was obsessed with that game, to say the least. The story, the new game plus, the time travel, the art, Magus, the music, all of it just it captured my imagination. And that's where like I recognize his work, and I would see later on like Dragon Ball and be like, oh, that's the guy who did Chrono Trigger, or I'd see Dragon's Quest, I believe it was, and I'd be like, oh, that's with the little like slime guy. I'd be like, that's the guy who did Chrono Trigger. So first and foremost, he'll always be the guy who does Chrono Trigger, but Dragon Ball probably had the bigger impact on me, I would think.
Dragon Ball, definitely. I mean, Dragon Ball was one of those shows that, like, don't get me wrong, it took forever, but it was a show that literally had other storylines going on. And I think it was the first show that really did that, where the main storyline was put on pause for what's going on at the same time somewhere else. It was fantastic.
Probably the same thing for me. I remember, I can't pinpoint like the year, but it was in early 90s when I started watching anime, like Outlaw Star. Unfortunately, the original Berserk kind of scarred me for life, but it became like a household thing. Like, we would watch Dragon Ball episodes every single day when it would air. Me and my older brother, my older sister, and those are like memories that I'm just gonna hold on to like for the rest of my life. And I don't know, like, I can't think of anything else that has impacted my life as much as Dragon Ball did. So like, I'm always gonna be grateful for that man.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Dragon Ball for me, man. I would be watching it on Toonami. I didn't actually get into it until a little bit later on, like when they were into the Cell Saga, and then I was like, oh, I gotta backtrack. So I went back, watched the whole thing. And when I got older, this came into theaters, and you know, I was getting tickets. Me and my buddy, we were grown ass dudes, and guess what? We were like, screw it. We went into the movie theater. Guess who else was there? Grown dudes, and we were all excited about this movie. And it to this day, it's like, that's a piece of childhood that I'll never leave. I'll never get rid of. I will hold that to the day I die. Every moment I had playing all the video games, Budokai 1, 2, and 3. Even though there was one that was on like on the computer at the time, but you had it where it was like the two characters, and you know, you just go up and down this way, and then you see Kai blasts from across the way. Yeah, it was one of those things like I can never forget those. So like, Akira Toriyama is one of those guys that I would hold dear in my heart for the rest of my life.
I mean, all right, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't really watched Dragon Ball. I know I have everyone in the room.
What?
Yes.
Where's my pen? I want to throw it.
Pick him out.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Jack Tail.
But no, I mean, obviously, just hearing your guys' stories of how it affected you guys really means a lot, and just for the longest time, how that show's been going on, and grown people, grown ass adults still love this anime and love the characters and the story, the fights. I mean, John is one of my closest friends, and hearing him talk about Dragon Ball Z all the time, I know he's really passionate about it. And then my other friend, Chris, who is well known on the podcast, he is a big Dragon Ball Z fan as well. So just, to me, it's just the legacy this man brought to so many people around the world for a long, long time.
So, and looking at just the works that he did, my man started his very first, production, and was unproduced piece, and back in 1977, guys, that's when I was born. and I'm the oldest one here. All right.
I wasn't even thought of.
Dude,
Even a
I started
twinkle in
watching
the
Dragon Ball even
eyeball.
before you were born, Kev. Like, it's
Like
bad.
you know, so
Ken,
that's
I
not a
started
big
watching Dragon
shocker,
Ball
but
on VHS.
Oh,
Sorry.
VHS, yes.
so I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, but his first thing he ever worked on was a Wawa World, and that was back in a Wawa World. It's AWAWA World.
I thought you were saying a wild, wild world.
A Wawa World.
Wawa World, like
There you
I'm
go.
about to go get a hoagie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
Hoagie Fest.
It's making me hungry.
God.
But I mean, let's say he's been working from 1977. The very first, I mean, God, I'm still scrolling on all the stuff that he was actually working on. And the very last thing that he worked on was he was part of the Dragon Ball Super that was done in 2015. That's actually going on all the way into 2024. So he was working his whole entire adult life all the way until his ultimate demise. But
Dude, he was doing comics and the TV show, like deadlines, turning out books weekly, like ridiculous.
I'm trying to catch some stuff that he might have done. That the Elder, I remember that. Mr. Ho.
Dude, I'll go back to the
Dragon Boy.
designs of like
I'm reading his works.
George's face tells it all.
What you call me?
Dr. Slump.
Okay.
Now here we go. Now the fact that obviously he influenced the anime world, because after Dragon Ball Z, that I believe that was the soft reboot for the world to get into anime. Because if you didn't like, you say Fist of the North Star, for example, if that wasn't your bring in, it was Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was one of the most known, put together, put out there for the folks to actually get a hold on and actually like, and that carried on until everything that we're seeing now.
Yo, if you weren't watching like Sci-Fi Channel at like 3 a.m. on a Saturday, Dragon Ball was your gateway into anime. Guaranteed.
Yep.
But just think about how much like the show influenced everything else.
Definitely.
So it's more than just the power of his drawings and just the anime world. Game world as well. As you said, Mike, Chrono Trigger was a mind-blowing game.
I want to take that back for a second because you touched something that I wanted to mention. If you look at Fist of the North Star in particular and how the art is in that and how it's detailed, and you look at Toriyama's art and it's simplified. It's there's the hair's just broad strokes. Everything's very angular. Nothing's round. It revolutionized how quick it can be done, the economy of it, and I think the fluidity of it as well.
Well, just talking about the art style too. You ever guys see those videos where they were making fun of how like technically they're all the same character but with just different hairstyles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Goku is technically also Vegeta. He just has spiky hair. Gohan.
Gohan.
Like it's the same, and Yamcha. Like they all have the same facial features. So like the cool part is my man learned how to copy and paste and then throw a different hairstyle on it, and there you go. You get a different character. So again, super efficient. At that point, it was making things easier for him to drop episodes. You know what I mean? Like he had an episode every week. Granted, I know there was probably like a year or so where they were getting everything ready, but on top of that, it was boom, 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 boom.
Dude, yeah, he was running the book at the same time, and like that was like weekly or bi-weekly.
At the exact same time for the most part, and it shows like how quickly things could be done in the anime world. And then you go and have something like One Piece that is, a lot of people attribute a lot of One Piece from Akira and how he was doing all his stuff. how that show would just consistently just go boom, 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 episode. So again, it could have been just a little inspiration from him, you know.
I think the anime had to do that after Dragon Ball. You had to pump it out because Dragon Ball was pumping it out. But Dragon Ball, like I already said, it literally was a show that it gave you the main storyline, but then paused it to go on this side adventure with all the other characters. And it made it a massive depth of a world. I mean, how many characters are there in Dragon Ball that you're like, hey, they're actually like a main character, you know?
It got to a point they forgot about a character.
Yeah.
They stopped drawing in, what's her name? The chick with the blonde hair. They completely forgot about her.
Android 18?
No. It was she was from Dragon Ball, and then she was in the Saga, and then Frieza. But after Frieza, she was gone, and we're like, yo, whatever happened to her? And they were like, oh, we forgot to draw her. What's her name? Like, there were just so many characters. Like they wound up saying, like, all right, yeah, she's one of the characters we got to draw, guys. I forgot her name though, man. Oh God, but she used to hang out with Master Roshi a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot her name though. She was the blonde headed one.
Yeah, I know her.
I mean, there's too many characters.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to mention, we're going to get on a little rant here, but I attribute my fandom to, with everything that I like, to like three main continuities growing up. It was the continuity of like WWF, like comic book continuity, and then the continuity of Dragon Ball Z, and like finding that world and finding out how it worked, all the characters. Back in the day, we didn't have Google, we didn't have Wikipedia, we couldn't. It was all like word of mouth stuff between friends. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Wow,
man, a long time ago.
Like when we were literally like trading VHS tapes. I was telling you about like some of the stuff with like my sister and her friends, and they had these Dragon Ball dubbed really bad VHS tapes, and so we would watch it and kind of know what they were saying, kind of not. But just world seems so interesting because on one hand you had these characters that were just, you know, they looked human, and then you had these other characters who didn't, and they looked like they were from a completely different universe, if not like cartoon, and they were all mixed together, and like you wanted to figure out how they worked. And I remembered like trying to dive into like the continuity and figuring out how the world worked really hard. And at that point in time, it was like mythical. It was like, and then like one time, like the guy comes in, but it's Vegeta's son, and he slices Frieza in half, and you're like, that never happens. That doesn't. It happened. So, like,
it happened.
that was like whispers, like just people would be like whispering about it. And you're like, who's he cut in half with? Whose son? Like that world building, just I think took me by storm.
And suspense. I think that was the first show that actually taught children and people suspense. Literally, the thing that I bust on all the time with Dragon Ball Z is the thing that probably made the show so great is that 5 episodes in, he's charging this Powerball for just 5 episodes.
Spirit Bomb.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's charging the Powerball to win that thing. Yeah.
And then if he finally, he's tossing it the whole time. You see Gohan, Piccolo.
Come on, man.
I'm telling the truth. That's why he was able to pump out like 5 episodes in like 1 half the episodes.
We still watched it.
No, we sat there too. Like, oh my god!
You have
Piccolo has his arm cut off, the blood just spurting out,
and then he missed.
Joke about all the time. All that just a miss. God damn it!
Then,
but the thing was, if he would have hit it, then the whole arc would have been done, right? You gotta
if he were to hit it, like Frieza would have slapped that thing out of the way.
yes,
he's already been like with his finger, just
Yeah, exactly.
He's so powerful.
All right, John, as
Go
like
ahead, John.
as the guy, what was your first introduction to it?
I remember my older brother bringing home one of the VHS tapes, and for some reason I watched it with him. Like I don't even know why, but I used to just hang out with him randomly. I would just pop in his room, be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he was watching it, and it was an episode in Dragon Ball. It was in the tournament. It was so long ago, I can't really remember. But seeing like this kid with like this long stick, just
that's on quick.
And me being a kid thinking like, oh, that looks so cool, and like it just kept me watching. Like I wanted to continue watching. Then I started watching Dragon Ball, and then like I didn't know about Dragon Ball Z until like a little bit after Dragon Ball, and then I started watching that. And I remember like coming home every day from school, running home to do my homework, eat dinner, or whatever, to catch the episode on Toonami. Toonami, I think, used to air between 4 or 5 p.m. to like 8 p.m. And I remember the block. It was like Dragon Ball Z, Big O, Outlaw Star,
Big
Gundam.
O. Don't sleep on Big O, man.
Gundam. Yep.
They had a version of Transformers, I believe. But I don't care about any of those. But I just focused on the Dragon Ball Z episode. And I don't know, like, it was just like a daily like ritual thing for me to watch that episode. And I just loved it so much. I can't think of anything else I could replace it with, to be honest.
Dude, it's so funny hearing you say that, like with the VHS tapes. It's so reminiscent, and you hear a lot of people talk about this, where it's like, people were passing this around and like, oh, my brother had this, and they would talk about it. It was like literally this mythical thing that just, I don't know, man. I don't think it could ever be like replicated the way it came over to America.
This is a throwback. Do y'all remember the toys from Burger King?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, I'm concerned about how quickly you had it next to you, like you knew it was gonna happen.
Dude,
he prepared that.
Oh, okay.
I have the Super Saiyan one over there somewhere.
He said, "Do you remember the Burger King toy?" Literally immediately just.
Oh, the one with the sword. That's
He still got his sword, man.
He actually have the sword.
Cooler didn't break it. Or no, who broke it? Was it 18? Who broke his sword? I think it was 18.
18. Yeah, I think it's 18.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's him.
18 broke his sword in the cartoon, but Patrick didn't break that toy sword.
No, don't tell my brother. But I think this was his. I think I had Vegeta.
Patrick.
Woo!
Oh man.
But
So,
again,
all
like,
right,
and
so
what you're saying about your, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Just my memory
just what John was saying about like his brother. Like it was like a family thing. Like I experienced it with my sister and my brother, and it just like was a whirlwind, and I forgot how important it was, and the lessons it taught, and the moments it really had. And it's sad that it takes the passing of a great artist, a great inspiration, to remember that.
I think the thing that gets me all the time is like, it was something big for me, and then now I got my little brother, and he'll sit there and he'll be like, "Did you see Super yet?" I'm like, "Bro, I watched that when it was like not even dubbed, bro. I watched subbed." All right, he's like 3 years late. He's like, "There's no way you would sit there and watch it and have to read it." I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Because it was something about just watching it with the subs is like in its originality and how it was meant to be portrayed the first time around. Like the dub versions, I'm cool, but I'll take sub any day with those things, you know. But the fact that I watched it when I was a kid, now he's watching it, like it survived the test of time. You know what I mean? There's something about it that was able to carry over. And you know, I know Larry was talking about it earlier, but it's kind of like Star Wars, right? So like.
There it is.
There it is. But it's the test of time, and you know, it's something that me and him can bond over, even to this day. You know,
just expanding on that a little bit. You're saying it's like Star Wars. I think it is a lot like Star Wars because it's a gateway. You can pick up Dragon Ball.
Keep going. We're transitioning.
Exactly, dude. I'm gonna bring it back to Batman in a minute. But
John, welcome to our podcast.
So much like Star Wars, you can kind of jump into Star Wars at any point. I've never seen Dragon Ball ever, like regular. I came into Dragon Ball Z and was like blew my mind, and I never looked back. But I think as big of a fan and as important as Star Wars is, I attribute to Dragon Ball being on the same level as that of just the gateway of getting into the larger fandom. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Well, I'm going to say not deeper, but let's go with some influences. And now, granted, no, we can't. There's nothing that's out there that's going to say like, yeah, for sure, because of this that happened. But Mike, you can remember this clearly because we're going right back to Chrono Trigger. So Chrono Trigger was kind of the beginning of that open world, go all over the place type of RPG, right?
Yes. Dude, once you get that E-Pot, you fly around.
One of the first ones that we've seen that had all those abilities to do. And then they had other ones. I want to say that isn't like Dragon Warrior and Dragon Quest?
Is it Dragon? Yeah. I think it's Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it was Dragon Quest.
Also influenced by that man. And if it wasn't for the artistry of those games, we wouldn't have the Final Fantasies that we have. And if it wasn't for the Final Fantasies that we have, there wouldn't be a Metal Gear.
Preach, my guy.
And if it wasn't for Metal Gear, we wouldn't have the updated Gears of War. So we have a whole lot of, updated, put together stuff that we all love to death now. That all was started off of Chrono Trigger and the run that was around that. I mean,
I remember seeing
number of home runs.
You might remember it, Larry, but do you remember going to like Funko Land and like seeing like the Chrono Trigger like intro video and then like scrolling up Magus's castle and like that wolf with the wings?
Yes.
Oh my god, that sold me on it. Like that cover where it's got Marley, Luca, Chrono, where they're actually doing like a triple tech and they're attacking whatever the monster was. Like that was just the art, everything was amazing in that game.
Now granted, guys, it was amazing, especially back then. We look at it now, we're going to go, but back then, oh my goodness, that was the way to go. So, I mean, what a pioneer that he, that he was, and what a legacy. I mean, look, I know for sure at that time, I was a kid from West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Right? Yeah. My grandmom's house was right under the L. So I'm literally right in the heart of West Philly. And Dragon Ball Z was at my house in West Philly. It was all the way up at Mike's area, which is right next to the Delaware River.
Ben Salem.
And northeast, wherever everyone else was. He influenced all of us from all over. And we're just talking Philadelphia. We ain't talking about it all over the world. So, I mean, what a pioneer that man was.
I mean, shoot, the freaking Thanksgiving Day parade in New York had a giant inflatable Goku for how many years?
Yup.
You know what I mean? And then when they added Super Saiyan God mode, they updated that one too and gave us Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan floating in through like Manhattan during the parade. So it's like it's like I said, stood the test of time and people still love it. You know what I mean? It's something that you can't just get rid of. It'll be a part of you for as long as
I think when we talk about Dragon Ball, like without Dragon Ball, you don't have Pokemon. Like,
yes,
without Dragon Ball, you don't have any of the Japanese influence, any of that anime that we so love now or is obsessed over, like, you know, Pokemon is.
Dude, you had your 10 VHS tapes in Blockbuster, and like 4 of them were Dragon Ball movies. Like,
Yeah.
That's what we had.
Before Blockbuster, going to like Hollywood Video or West Coast.
West Coast Videos, Northeast Philadelphia, right there. When the bank used to be a Roy Rogers. Yes, I remember.
Going back to like them, going back before Blockbuster was the king of movie rentals. You know, you're going back to like I watched Dragon Ball and loved Dragon Ball, and then was like, oh wait, what's going on with the show? And then realizing no, there's more, and it's a whole evolution, and that you get it later on. And then like, I mean, you had Dragon Ball and like to go DC, you had Dragon Ball and Batman. The animated series. Like that was making everything.
Frank, I didn't expect that to be you to make it DC.
My man. So
dude, it's the time. It's the time. And at that time you also have X-Men, which we're about to go crazy over.
I'm gonna say what those two shows did better than Batman the Animated Series is there was a continuity that where each episode led into each. Where Batman the Animated Series there were single stories. You had Dragon Ball, you had X-Men and Gargoyles at the time. That was one
Gargoyles, yes,
yeah, and that was hard to get back then. And yeah, Dragon Ball just ran it forever.
Oh yeah, yeah, so much for it.
Give me a second, guys. I have something to show.
I was gonna say it looked like you were talking, but I think you forgot your mic was off, bro.
I didn't watch y'all hearing all the noise that was happening on my phone and stuff as I was looking for something. And I think we're Gucci. Let's go. We
show it to
right
us.
now. We're not like we're live right now or anything.
Yes, we are. Sorry.
We'll do it live.
Okay, so here's how much this man influenced the world, especially over in China. So, did y'all guys happen to see the Dragon Ball Z musical that they did?
Yes,
I saw advertisements for it. Yeah,
I did not see it.
Oh, okay. So well, there we go. A little taste of it.
Huh.
You can't tell me that's not cool.
That's
amazing.
How is that better than Evolution? Like, how'd they mess?
I want to see that here. That would be awesome. I mean, I want to see it in Japan, but
no, Mike, don't bring in Evolution, bro. We were trying to.
I got a fun fact about Evolution. So we owe Evolution some credit. Just sit down, gentlemen. Are you sitting down, Kevin? You sitting down, bro? All right.
Yeah,
so,
my fast ain't standing up. You can.
I want to hear what you got to say. Hold up.
Evolution led to the Dragon Ball Super because Akira gave up creative control and let another studio take over and do Dragon Ball without him, and that's what they got. And he was so mad and so hurt by it that he decided to resurrect Dragon Ball Z with Super.
But wait, while Evolution came out, there was a fan film thing that came out that it was Trunks' Future Saga and Future Gohan and Future Trunks for fighting Android 17 and 18. That was amazing.
It's so good.
You have, John, I'm saying you saw it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have that from a low budget fan film company to a AAA company, and they give us that bullcrap. Come on. Nah, man.
Wasn't Piccolo like a white dude?
Piccolo was like a pickle, bro.
I forget. It's been a long time, but I remember being like, "Really? That's what you're doing for Piccolo?"
It was so weird. And then he had this weird. You know who he reminded me of? Like, remember when Megamind had the black suit, the black Mamba?
Oh no! Yeah.
That was Piccolo in green, bro. The black suit and a green head. That's it. That was precursor to Megamind. They would just make Megamind in live action. That's what that was.
So to wrap this around at me here, evolution led to Super, much like Batman and Robin led to Batman Begins.
Oh my god!
Well, thank God for evolution.
There it is.
Yeah. I was never gonna go that
I
far
really
in
need
the
to like
UK.
place money down when we do our podcast because George brings up Star Wars no matter what. Mike brings up Batman no matter what. I need to literally put money down on this because I could be a millionaire at this point.
We need like a nickel jar.
If you
Like
talk
every
to betting,
time
I'm
Mike
gonna go
mentions
against you the whole time.
That pool.
I'm gonna hold it in.
How long it takes
I'm
us?
gonna hold it in. Pause.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I need to be quick. I need to be quick on the draw. I'm sorry. There you go.
Let's go.
I'm gonna age everyone here. I think we kind of got my introduction for it, a lot of ours, but what did everyone watch? I definitely watched like the Funimation, the original run when it came to America. That was, I think, at one point on like UPN at like early o'clock on Saturdays, and then it got picked up by Cartoon Network. I just found out what Kai was the other day. Like I had no idea Kai was a thing. Has anyone like watched Kai here?
Yeah.
Was that anyone's first introduction?
It was like the Spark Notes version.
Yeah.
So, like,
They cut out a lot of the filler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
I heard it with Dragon Ball on Fox. You know.
Real did you?
Yeah, Fox ran Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
and then it went kind of like quiet, and then you realized, oh, it's on Cartoon Network, it's on Toonami, and like it was UPN put it on, like it went other places. Fox never put on Dragon Ball Z.
So the thing with back then is that the adoption of anime in American like TV was kind of hard to do because everything was very Japanese or like Chinese based when it came to a lot of stuff, like down to like the food and stuff like that, right? Like it would be a lot of things to be like, well, what the heck they eat, you know what I mean? So trying to adopt that into the United States took a long time. And again, it's just the fact that Dragon Ball, the series in general, was that long of a show. The adoption happened, and it was just like boom, like that. You know what I mean? Like we were able to pick up on it because it just was around and it was there all the time, every week. So when you're getting force fed that, you're like, yo, what is this? Right? What am I watching? And then you start getting into it. The story of it. We all know how Dragon Ball story has it's got some of the best storytelling. You know what I mean? Like just learning about Goku having a brother from an alien planet. He's not even human. You know what I mean? Like that was like, my boy is not a what? You know what I mean? So like you start finding these things and then you just you're in it. You know, you go down the rabbit hole of Akira Toriyama's mind and you're like, so that's why it was like everywhere, because a lot of people were trying to like tiptoe into it, but not fully be like, oh yeah, until Toonami was like, nah, bring it on. Let's go. We got it. And then it just went from there.
So the original Dragon Ball was released in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it went crazy into the States, where everybody in the States was talking about it until like the mid 90s to going to 2000s. and then it took off like crazy. I remember I told this story to Mike, kind of show you once again how old I am at times. I went to West Coast Video. Was it what? No, I'm sorry, not West Coast Video. Suncoast.
Suncoast.
I went to Suncoast Video. Yeah, so now I went to Suncoast over in the Plymouth Meeting Mall, and I went in there, and naturally the guy that works in there ended up being that the person that I was talking to in the store may actually be watching now. His name is Mark. I work with Mark over at my with my company. I'm not gonna say my company. I'll give him the free press. Anyway, so Mark was the manager of that store, and Mark was saying, "Hey, we just got Dragon Ball Z on DVD." I was like, "Okay, I want The Last Dragon. Do you have it?" I don't know if y'all remember The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy.
I do.
Yeah.
Who's the baddest?
Show enough. Who's the prettiest? So
Show no.
I was looking for The Last Dragon, but Dragon Ball, the DVDs finally got released, and it was audio then and English, and it just got released, and that had to be around 98, 99. So that was when like the boom really, really happened, and that's when I actually got into it, because instead of me buying The Last Dragon, I bought it later. I end up later on buying that, and that was my kind of like my introduction to Dragon Ball from there. So it's funny how we all have our own
That's about
path into
that
the Dragon Ball world.
Right.
I'm good with this time frame thing, man. Not always.
I'm thinking like when I had to be somewhere around like 13, I think, and I was telling you guys before here, but I remember going out trick-or-treating with my sister's friends. It was her boyfriend, and she had to be like 16-ish, 15, somewhere around there. But they lived up in like Richboro, around there, and they were like these punk rock kids. And we went out for Halloween, and this girl was dressed as Android. I guess was 18, is it 17 or 18?
Yeah.
Who's the girl?
18.
She was dressed as 18, and like I was like, "What are you dressed as?" And she's like, "I'm Android from the show Dragon Ball." I'm like, "What's Dragon Ball?" And she's like, "It's this anime." And I'm like, "Well, what's your cut?" And she's like, "This is the Red Ribbon Army." I'm like, "What is all of this?" And it was about then, and that's what I'm saying. Like it was more like the allure and the legend of like what Dragon Ball was like growing up.
It was, yeah, you're right. It was that it was almost like that secret society is like, were we welcoming you into watching Dragon Ball? Because it's like it's a myth. It's not really real, but it is. Here's the DVD, or here's the VHS.
The copy.
Did y'all ever see the original Broly movie?
Yes.
Yes.
The soundtrack to that movie was like an early introduction to my taste in music. When they played Pantera when Broly was powering up, it was like the coolest thing ever.
That's...
Wow.
Yeah,
so
all of the Broly movies, The Second Coming, Bio Broly.
We don't talk about that one.
What? I actually didn't mind Bio Broly. It was all right. It was just a slimy looking Broly. Like, you know, it was good.
Yeah. That's like a continuity argument waiting to happen.
Yeah, we staying positive here.
Are they canon?
Continuity is with freaking Frieza's brother Cooler. Like, this boy was just like, yeah, no, there were so many freaking versions of Cooler. I'm just like, why? Why so many of these? Like, I don't even like you as a character, bro.
Can I say something about Frieza here? when they finally brought Frieza in, I freaking hated that guy. Like, they did Frieza so good that I flipping hated him. like from the get go. Like he was always
That's
just like
great storytelling.
like,
You literally hate it.
down to his voice made me like uncomfortable. I was at that age where I'm like, he's not supposed to be talking like that. Like it just like it made me feel weird. And I'm like,
I can just see Mike holding his Batman action figure like he just wasn't talking like that.
As he's
then
talking
that guy
like
goes
it.
and like shoots like Vegeta, and I'm like, no,
man.
come on, man. Like I
But
hate
when
it.
you start when you start figuring out why everybody hates Frieza and all the stuff that happened to Planet Vegeta, you're just like, oh, you were bad though. Like, come on, dude.
Like,
But that's also the moment that you finally love Vegeta. That you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Vegeta's not really a bad guy. Like, Vegeta's just doing what he has to do to survive.
I'm the Prince of all Saiyans.
Who knew that the Prince of All Saiyans looked good in a pink shirt? I'm just saying. Pink button up.
Wait till he gets his mustache in GT.
Oh, dude, I saw like the most bootleg version of GT.
GT, and you're like, bro, shave that off. What are you doing?
Like, I probably like,
GTs.
oh, shit, I probably watched it on like Winamp or like real time. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I watched GT. Like, nobody played that. Like,
Speaking of saga,
I get hate for it all the time, but GT was my favorite series.
yeah, I never finished it.
I watched it.
I just saw the ending
halfway
like
through,
within
I
the
never
past week.
finished it after that.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku is my favorite like form.
That's awesome.
I ain't gonna lie, 4 was pretty fire though. Like the way they incorporated the tail aspect of the Saiyans and them coming back to it. Like I thought that was cool. I didn't mind it at all.
It was like they introduced like a cyberpunky like kind of theme to that series, which I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at it though. I just never actually finished it. Maybe I should now.
I think you should.
I agree.
I'm like,
you should watch it just to watch
years
it.
late on finishing it.
Yo, I'm going back into my anime phase. I just finished Shippuden. I'm just fire show by the way. Love it.
I have Itachi tattooed.
Yo, Itachi's the GOAT. Oh my god. Started going through Boruto, went through One Piece, and then the cool thing is like all these shows are getting live action adaptations. Do you guys think that Netflix will pull a Dragon Ball live action?
No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. With how bad Evolution did, no.
Man,
Yeah, they attempt it, and it's like it's now we don't want to touch this.
See, but my thing is like the way that Netflix has been doing it. Like we all saw Avatar. Avatar was great. We saw One Piece. One Piece was great. Yu Yu Hakusho wasn't too bad. Like they're not bad adaptations.
Don't say the Avatar word around John, please.
Sorry, Avatar.
Don't.
So
stay positive, John.
Yo, you're coming on the next episode, bro. We gotta hear from you.
yeah,
I
got
got
no-
wants to.
I'm just about done like my second playthrough.
It's so bad.
I hear him talk about my coworkers at work how bad he hates Avatar, and it's just like,
Wait, do you hate like Avatar, the thing they just put out, or like Avatar in general?
He's talking about in general.
In general, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I blame Korra.
I didn't even watch that.
No, he didn't
Korra
watch
had the
it.
best villain.
He's
All right.
Avatar for Avatar.
Korra had the best
You saw
villain.
the first
Korra had
thing,
the only
like,
villain
that's
who
who
won.
was playing
Okay.
Korra.
The only Avatar I like are the blue people.
Oh, that's terrible. Anyways,
Oh.
Okay, time to get ready to close out this episode. After that one,
Damn, that's crazy.
oh man,
I want to jump back on Vegeta for a second. I want to talk about the evolution of Vegeta. No
every
pun
time I
intended.
say I want to close out, Mike. Every time.
Let me just say this. Vegeta showed me you had someone who was a prince who was given everything and who was arguably the strongest person in the universe, if not the second. But his internal monologue and his internal ability to tear himself down and be so insecure about himself that he was constantly beating himself up. He wanted to be better than Goku all the time. And you had this bad guy that he made his heel turn or face turn, if you want to call it that. and just the way he would beat himself up and overcome, and eventually like decided like this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna be. This is my best self, and he put it out there. And he had a family, and I mean he went bad again, but I just always found that super interesting about Vegeta.
Who's everybody's favorite character?
Team Gohan.
Gohan? I was gonna say Gohan as well.
Go Gohan was pretty rad. So I bought at a toy convention like the late 90s because I love Gohan so much. I bought a Go 10 figure thinking it was Gohan and was like, it's good enough.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah,
George
but
Larry?
I think Vegeta for me.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but Trunks is a badass with a sword. So,
Shocker.
Trunks is
George
awesome.
picked the one with a sword.
what is that supposed to mean?
Star Wars.
They had lightsabers. They're not the same thing. God. Get your facts right, Larry.
Gosh.
Whatever, dude.
3 months in your top, Larry.
Oh, God.
Real
Your
quick.
answer,
I
Kev.
know Larry's trying to wrap up, but
I haven't watched it. I don't have a favorite character.
He doesn't have a character.
Who
Just
looks
say
the coolest,
Goku.
Kevin? Right now, tell me who looks the coolest.
All right, Goku. All right, Goku. All right, here we go, Goku.
nah, bro.
There has to be somebody that always says Goku.
Listen, I will say, all right, I am new to the anime world. I was never really fully into it. I never really had the interest in it, but it was actually John, who I right down there. He's actually my go-to when it comes to anime. He actually gave me a list of what I should start with and what he thinks that I would like. And hearing this, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball is on the list.
Get to it then.
Should be. You got a lot to watch though.
Only
I know.
50
I saw
years
have
ago.
no life for the next
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
Or you can just watch Kai and get it caught up quick.
Yeah, just watch Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Okay.
Spark Notes version.
Yep.
To answer the question, it's Goku for me because he's the one that introduced me to the whole entire franchise.
Goku. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Goku is awesome. Gohan is to me is it has more of a depth to him.
Yeah.
Because Goku is he's always going to overcome. He is the antithesis of the hero, main character, plot armor,
He's
all
the
of that.
Superman of anime.
Yes, he is. Totally. Gohan
father
is more of
kills
the
her,
reluctant, the gotta push past, figure out how he can catch up, kind of, and also has how many different senseis, essentially? How many different people influences Gohan as opposed to Goku? He's constantly going to somebody else to learn instead of, like, my dad is the one that's Superman.
Yo, the thing about Gohan that I always thought was so funny, this kid had it rough, man. So, like, the kid was getting trained to be a Z fighter from, like, the age of 2, right? So we talk Cell Saga, we watch Cell whooping him like it's crazy, and then Piccolo's like, Goku, you gonna do anything about it? And Goku just smirking like, yeah, he got this. like my man was just living there like, your father's abandoning you to get your butt whipped by a green guy.
That dude, Gohan got
always overcoming. You know what I mean? Like that guy was like, no matter what, he was the first to ascend Super Saiyan properly to Super Saiyan 2, and just like this kid did that, and then beat everybody. Jeez. So like
Gohan got beat by the Ginyu Force. Like he got hit so hard. He got like punched in the head or kicked in the head by like the guy was right there. But like the Ginyu Force with the like goofy poses, and like he got rocked that his eyes went white.
Yo, Goku was like,
so
sorry about fire. Have fun, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Father of the year.
Oh shoot.
And he portrayed a superhero in the show, The Great Saiyan Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh god, what was the girl's name with the short hair? Videl. Right? That
His
was
wife,
around that time, yeah. Who was the John? Who was the master who was in like the spirit world who had like the two antenna? He lived on that little planet. It was during like the
King
I
Kai?
guess it was
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay, like the big chubby guy with the blue face.
Yeah.
Thank you, King Kai. Okay, it's been 20 years.
John's quicker, man. He's like King Kai, bro.
Oh,
Thank you.
All right, it's time for us to close this out.
Wait, I got one more thing.
Did y'all see that Superman costume?
Everybody's favorite soccer. Go.
You know
new
what?
Superman costume's dope.
Whatever, dude.
Nobody.
I deserve this because I wasn't there for the last episode, and Frankie Baby was the one in charge, and he slapped me
killed it.
right as soon as he saw me afterwards.
He was the conductor of the
and I didn't do it as well as you do.
He had that train so tight on course. Like,
Yes, he did.
Frank, you were good.
Yeah,
I saw the death stare he gave you, Mike, when you tried to turn left multiple times.
The Zoolander.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
the Zoolander.
Kevin, I blame it on Kevin for peer pressure.
Whatever, man. You and I passed the test, though. We did good. Buddy.
Yeah,
I think that was the most I ever made you laugh, too. I was proud of myself.
Before we go, I want to talk about one thing. Friend of the show, Tori Q Hill has his Kickstarter that is ending in 24 hours.
Oh yeah,
for his book, the network, The Quickening. Get on that. It's already passed. It's like $1,000 over. Get on that. 24 hours. I think the cheapest you can get in is like $20. You got the book. I signed up. I'm gonna get it in the mail. I'm excited. Tori, congratulations, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Tori, you'll see, just in case for anyone that's watching, if you go on our Instagram, Tori's the one that we actually talked to during the J1Con that we went to. He was one of the first ones that we actually interviewed with. What an incredible story, what an incredible man that he is. So yeah, support Tori Hill and that story, the network. It's a great story. It's a really great story.
I can't wait.
Yeah, great story. So anyway, let's go ahead and close out. Look, we want to thank y'all guys so much for showing up and being part of the talk. Hey, if there's anything that you don't like that Mike said, which could be a lot, put it in the comments below. Sorry, Mike.
Tell me how much I don't know. Put in the comments how much I don't know nothing. Tell me how I don't
Bring
know
it. Oh, but no, we just want y'all guys to be part of the show. So please continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate y'all guys. Hey, look, let's go ahead and break it down. Kev, any last words, sir?
Nah, like I said, Dragon Ball Z is on the list now. John gave me a list of what to watch. Watch it early. Also, again, thank you to my friend John for being on the show first time.
Okay, I think he said something about John, so we're gonna go here. George, close it out, bro.
Guys, if you had a good experience with Dragon Ball in the comments, put that down so we can go ahead and talk about it. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Hey, if you got a problem with what I said about Dragon Ball Z, I loved it. If you didn't like what I say, send me your address. I'll send you a bottle of No More Tears shampoo. Take care.
What?
Wow.
Oh man. Yeah, I just want to invite you all to pull a seat up at the table like John did. If there's anything that you're a fan of, get a hold of us, join us on the pod, let your voice be heard, talk it up with us. We want to chat and interact with all of you guys.
And while the camera is sitting here right here on Frank, we just want to say congratulations on a brand new baby girl. She is a beautiful. Congratulations to you and your wife.
Baby had a baby.
Baby. The second baby.
Congratulations.
And last but not least, my man John, thank you for being part of the show today, sir.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was fun. Hopefully this isn't the last time.
Wow, that's how you're just going to end it up like that, right? Wow, that it may actually be the last time
He's a Dragon Ball fan, dude. He's got to leave it open for the next episode.
He's like, hopefully I'll be back.
It's gonna take 5 episodes for my outro.
Oh God! But thank y'all so
John,
much.
pleasure meeting you, bro. Pleasure meeting you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
You guys as well.
It won't be the last time, brother. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching again. Take care. God bless. Peace out.
So,